panelists some easy questions, pretend to be interested in the answers, and then do what I really came down here to do, which is go to the sci-fi party and look at the girls from Dallas. Not anymore. No, it's crazy now. Every single moderator and every single panel tries to outdo every other panel. How am I going to compete with Angelina Jolie? Look at me. I'm not. I appreciate it, but I'm not. Yesterday, I went to Sarah did one of these things in a Captain America costume. Are you have to be kidding me? Well, thank God for the Hollywood Reporter, which yesterday published an article for moderators like me entitled How Not to Screw Up a Comic-Con Panel. That's true, and I intend to follow this document to the letter. First thing you gotta do is make a big announcement. You gotta drop a bombshell, right? Heaven forbid you do one of these panels and you don't make a big announcement. You're written off as a failure. So I'm gonna start today with a big announcement. Amanda Tappan and I are lovers. Tweet it, get out there. This will come as a surprise to a great many of you, including Amanda's husband. You demand an exclusive, and I hope you're happy. And because of this very moment, there's a Green Lantern panel going on that I'm feeling particularly threatened by. I would like to announce that Dunne and I are lovers. Are you guys ready to follow this document and make this the best Comic-Con panel ever? Ladies and gentlemen, creator, writer, executive producer, and Just for Men beard model, Damian Kindler. You are someone beautiful too. Sanctuary's resident werewolf Henry Fox, Mr. Ryan Robbins. You know him as Dr. Will Zimmerman. I know him as my secret boyfriend. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Robbins. Superstar sci-fi channel royalty, and you're very happily married, Mr. Tappan. I'm just using you for sex. Tweet it! Get it out there! Alright, let's start by taking a sneak peek at the show. The extended trailer that you're about to see can also be seen on Zoom Marketplace exclusively for the next 24 hours. Visit www.zoom.net/ComicCon2010 or check out the Zoom Video Marketplace and Xbox Live. Ladies and gentlemen, the incredible world of Sanctuary.
Hey, that's me. Lost in Mumbai. Looking for her. What? What is it?
You said you would leave me alone.
What happened? You were shy. See, she's hot. But she's also a giant spider. And I really pissed her off. Okay, so now I'm dead, or dying, or something hard to classify. Surprised? Don't be. Let me tell you about my job, starting with my boss, Alan Magnus.
Welcome to the Sanctuary.
Working with heretics to be a real-life boss. And the job? Well, we meet new and interesting species.
Definitely consistent with our mission.
Travel a lot. And lots of politics.
We have more to learn by protecting life than by simply destroying it.
Stand fair.
What is it about me that makes these things happen so much?
It's a good job. Decent perks. Oh, and now then,
It's not responding.
till you die. Does your boss ask you to do this? Because mine does.
You're no longer head of the sanctuary network.
Oh yeah. Thousands of people are gonna die.
There's no time.
What do you do in my bedroom?
Prepare to be jacked off the hell. The man comes with a hidden agenda every time. Never bore your audience.
How do I get across?
Leap of faith.
He's there.
Who?
Your father.
My father never gave me a gift without significance.
I can't understand. What is this place?
I've no idea. We have to find it, wherever it is. Damn, this is a hold-up!
Cool.
Don't you want to learn the secrets of the city your father sent you?
Everyone get back! You are brilliant.
Don't I know it?
Back it out.
Oh yeah! That was awesome. I need a glass of water.
Michelle, it's free. It's complimentary water. Well, Sanctuary is a show that has a lot of citations next to it. It's one of the most successful internet series of all time, having made the leap to a hit televised series about to enter its third season. It is one of the first television shows to be filmed entirely on the advanced Red 1 camera. It was last year nominated for an Emmy for visual effects and has been nominated for more than 50 other awards during its 2 years on the air. How about a round for that? According to my How Not to Screw Up panel document, it says, get your showrunners involved early. They're the gatekeepers to secrets that the fans really want to hear about. So let's start with you, Damian. First of all, to what do you attribute all the success that Sanctuary's had? Why do you think it's done so well?
His cast. It's a wonderful cast.
God, Damian, it's so weird. It was like your mouth wasn't moving.
Yes, I would say the amazing writing that is there. Good question.
Thank you.
I agree with the writing part. There was writing.
Well, let's spill it. What are we going to see in season 3?
Season 3 is such an amazing adventure. It's our first time having 20 episodes, which is beautiful and daunting all at the same time. But it allows us to finally tell these amazing, long, beautiful arcs.
For the record, beautiful, dog.
That's the name of our band.
Beautiful, daunting arcs. And so we get to tell some stories that we just wouldn't essentially have the leeway to tell. And so season 3 is a very, very involved, historical season. It's pretty important. I have to go back and think about all we've done because we're so far out in front of it. But I think you're all going to love it. I love it. This is my favorite season of the show so far. And I know I said that last year when I said that about season 2. But season 3 is amazing. We tell stories that I'm so thrilled to tell. And the characters get deeper. And we learn about their history. And the villains are cool. And the places we go are new and unexpected. And it's just a thrill. It's just this candy store that just, built the second, third, and fourth floor. So we're thrilled to show it to you.
The show, I'm constantly amazed. I'm going to pay you a comment anyway.
Mark,
Well, one per year. But I'm constantly amazed at the scope. Every year this show gets bigger and deeper and the scope gets wider. And I think season 3 is just, it has raised the bar in that way too. It's just amazing to see the places we're going, the things we're doing. And as seen from that trailer, it's going to be crazy.
I definitely wish I could just start a reel of spoilers because it just would go, and then I could start acting it out,
There's only a couple people here. It'd probably be fun.
excited about it. There's some amazing stories being told, and the cast are doing beautiful, amazing, deep, funny, very human things with these stories, and it's just going to be the cool season.
And not so human.
Not so human.
Just say in the second season, from the beginning, but I actually really noticed it in I think the third or fourth episode, which was Hero. I noticed there was this kind of quantum leap look at the show. It just looked a lot better in the second season. Is there going to be a continued evolution of the way the show looks in the third season? And what's behind that? What's going on over there that has caused the show to kind of look cooler and cooler?
When you have a company like Anthem that is so gung-ho and cowboy about it, it's not just a job. I mean, essentially, it sort of attracts this very passionate group of people who love to do this sort of thing. And the economics and the politics and the business of it kind of takes somewhat of a back seat because everybody's just loving the work, and it gets nauseatingly beautiful all the time. It's just loving our job.
Thinking about the budget of some of the comparable shows on the network, we don't have quite their budget, and the fact that our crew and our cast are all working for less than what they're worth, especially our crew.
Why did you look at me when you made that comment? Why? I would like to know.
I'm talking about darling. But everyone, like, is so passionate about working on the show, and it's infectious, and I think that the people at Anthem feel that too.
We feel it creatively. I believe the show has to continually be like a creative shock. It can't stop. It has to continually move forward without things. And so the show must always expand. It just has to. Otherwise, we're kind of just recycling stories and, oh, there's that villain again, because we know that villain.
But is part of that technological? I mean, have you learned stuff from season one in terms of the way the show's made and shot? Obviously, it's a very complicated way in which the show's put together. Has there been an evolution in terms of the technology though?
Absolutely. Amanda can speak to that. She directed and she's involved in a lot of post-production decisions. And we're constantly trying to find ways to expand and refine and learn from the way we did it. We're inventing new tricks all the time. Wouldn't you say that?
Absolutely, and there's a certain comfort level with the technology now that allows us to push the envelope that we weren't able to do necessarily in season one, shooting with the red. We learned a lot. Season two, we learned even more, and now we feel really comfortable visually pushing the envelope because we understand the technology so much better.
It also helps for us, I think, as a cast to have an idea of what clear idea of what the world is looking like and what's happening, to be able to escape into that a little more. And let's face it, for us to get better all the time, I mean, we owe that to you guys.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
We got to keep the bar set so high from the get-go.
Ryan, to kind of pick up on what you just said, I think that's another question that I have, which is that I think one of the things that I've heard a lot about the way that the show is made is how liberating it is, right? You can go anywhere, you can build anything, you can do anything. What I haven't really heard, and I'm interested if this exists, is whether or not there's another side of that coin. What is it about this process that makes it hard? I mean, I know you said one of the things that's helped make the show better is that now you can kind of feel the world that you're in. You can see it as an actor. Is this process a pain in the ass sometimes? I mean, is it always liberating, or is it also difficult?
No, I think for me, I have no imagination for this, so I just kind of see crazy things in my head all the time, so it's fine for me. The only thing is that, when we go to Mumbai, we go to Paris, it would be nice to actually go there. That would be nice, but other than that, no, I mean.
But you don't feel as actors across the board that this is in any way.
Amanda uses the analogy that sometimes it's like doing theater. You're on stage, you're on the green stage, and a lot of what's going on is going on in your imagination. But yes, I think we've all gotten used to that. And also, it is kind of cool then, to re-experience the show when you see the finished product and you go, oh yeah, that's what I was running away from.
That's the coolest part. Is it doesn't matter what you imagine it is going to look like. It's so much more epic than you ever had in your mind. But for us, the great thing about our show is it's such a visually spectacular show, but it's also very character-driven. So that's what makes it, I think, easier for us as actors, is because it's a character-driven show. We have these great relationships that have really developed over the last few seasons. And this season 3, I think even our personal relationships presented in the characters some more, and there's just a definite comfort and
there's
really a lot of fun this year.
There's an intimacy to the process because it is just then it becomes about the words and the actors and the connection with the characters. It's not so much about all the scenery around you because you can't see it, so you kind of close it down and make it very intimate.
And there's an unbelievable shorthand that's I think it's been there since the beginning.
Did you just call me short?
Yes, yes. I also said you were unbelievable. Not in a good way. I think the way that's short. But I mean, there's a short. Sorry. There's a. How can I rephrase it? There's a way of communicating that doesn't take very long. Well put. Now I said long. Oh God, it's gone that way. But I think and that's like we have such a tight-knit group of people, the crew, the cast, everybody, and there can be things where Marty Wood would be call cut and he'll walk over to me and say something and I'll just already go, yeah, no, I got it, let's go. And I think that's what Matt was saying about the tightness.
I think, to be honest, the fact that we are this kind of grassroots independent production, see what I work, this is the short one, right here. It's easy as you have all the bells and whistles and cranes and helicopters and giant, places to go shoot. You can get wrapped up in that and the story can get lost. And we have to be very clever in everything we do to service the story and the characters. And the show itself just works because we only want to tell stories about our characters. I don't like stories where it's like a mysterious person comes to the sanctuary. And then I like it when Helen Magnus or Henry Foster, Will, what's his name, have to
What's his name?
Let's talk about the characters. Amanda, according to my script panel, it says, it actually says this. It says, don't have booze. Talent are a lot funnier with a few drinks in them. Watching the show that you have a lot of fun playing this character, and that she seems a lot more, she seems more sensual, right, than Sam Carter. No, I mean she really does, right? She seems like a much more sensual character than maybe Sam Carter from Stargate, and yet I'm always amazed when I watch the show how little we kind of see her.
I know.
That's what I'm asking is, when is Texas going to get it on with something? When is that going to happen?
I know.
When is she going to get a boyfriend? But when is she going to let loose a little bit?
She has a boyfriend. He's just like the baddest boyfriend you could ever have.
I have a boyfriend. He's just not very nice to women. Yeah, I agree. In fact, I brought up that question before dating. When?
I think it just seems like right under the surface we get the sense that
she's very comfortable with her sexuality. I
Yeah.
understand it was very awkward with her sexuality. Ellen is not. And has had many, wonderful experiences over the course of her years. So she's very comfortable with her body and with herself, which is something I'm getting used to, the idea of, especially the heels.
I was going to say, we've all seen Magnus's shoe collection.
Josh, she's choosing.
she's choosing.
Yeah.
All right.
Could you go back to talking about being
Can we look forward, though,
Can
we look forward in the season ahead to some romantic entanglements for Dr. Magnus?
Can I announce something?
You asked me to be sure, yes. You can announce it.
We're really very excited, and not that I want to tie the romantic thing together with this, but who knows, it could go somewhere. We have a wonderful guest star coming up for a couple of episodes. She sort of goes toe-to-toe with Magnus, and it's the incredible Polly Walker, who will be playing this character. From Africa and Rome, and she's gorgeous, and I read the scene between them when I was like,
Really?
why not? Damian? I think it would be really cool. But anyway, Polly Walker is very much
we saw in the teaser there, and that's, I think we saw a brief clip of Matt's father.
Yeah.
And I think that's been one of the great hanging threads of the show for the first 2 seasons is, where is he, what's going on with him? Let's talk a little bit about parents in the season to come. Amanda, we're going to see your dad?
We have a dream cast idea for if we were to cast Will and Henry's parents. And we'd love for Christopher Walken to play Will's father. And for William Shatner to play Henry's father. And so we've been sort of improvising and playing around with that idea.
Magnus, my son, went to a good school, hundreds of thousands of dollars. And you got him working with a Sasquatch. I don't understand, son, your boss, she's hot. I like his shoes.
Mr. Robbins.
Henry, does anyone ever work with women in this place? What kind of job is it? You're working with... And...
Bill, why don't we go for a beer? Maybe, loosen me up.
I'll, loosen you up.
Damian Kindler, ladies and gentlemen.
Absolutely. Maybe we get Jack Nicholson as Kate's dad. I won't go there.
I want to talk about Henry for a second. Season 2, no werewolf thing, really, in Season 2. I mean, we spent a lot of Season 1 kind of watching Henry come to grips with his abnormality, and then seeing him kind of accept it. And then it seems to have really been kind of in the background for a lot of the second season. Where's your character head in the next season?
Oh. Season 3.
Yeah, I think it's safe to say we see a lot more of that side of Henry, which ultimately means we see a lot more of a lot of sides of Henry. We're not written with the luxury of having magic denim shorts that just kind of appear. Our Henry gets naked. No, you should do it.
I've had the unfortunate experience of having a scene off during the day, and I'm going to get a cup of coffee, and I'm going to go down to the stage and see what they're shooting, and just kind of walk, I'm unclean!
We did shoot an interesting scene where Robin was standing about 8 feet behind me. Yeah, sorry.
I need a jaws of life to get ahead.
This is some things you cannot unsee. I've seen your ass so many times.
I've seen your bum so many times.
There's definitely, Henry's had quite an evolution this season. There's been a lot. I think the luxury of having its own episodes is we all have to explore our characters a little more.
I think the words you're looking for are werewolf love.
Werewolf love.
A lot of the second season was sort of dominated by a much bigger scope, right? It seemed like the show went kind of global in the second season. We got to see other sanctuaries, and a lot of it was about this big effort that was made to bring down the sanctuaries. I don't really have a sense from the trailer, I don't want you to give too much away, but what's the kind of, it seems like we ended season 2 in this really crazy position. I mean, I just want to get a sense of, tease us a little bit in terms of season 3, but now what's going to, it seems like things are kind of in disarray.
Well, we live. Whoa, big spoiler there. Yeah. We survived the tidal wave. We actually do a lot of we go back in time this season, which I love. We sort of explore the early days of the 5 and go back to the 1800s, and that informs so much of where the sanctuary is today, and especially with Helen's character. So we do that. We're going to Paris, I believe. Are we shooting in Paris? We're trying to shoot in Paris. To be exciting.
I think the idea is that we got ourselves into an incredible bind, and then I think that we had done the big bad conspiracy people trying to bring down the sanctuary, and we didn't want to recycle that or reincarnate it into something else. We wanted to take the show in a very fresh direction that was very kind of back to that positive, exciting, adventurous spirit that is Sanctuary. And the upside of season 2 is that we created this global stage for the show. There's sanctuaries all over the world. And so we're not going to be having to all bring down the sanctuary or all that. It's going to be a much more, it's going to be a discovery that sets our team on a very different agenda. That, new villains, new allies. And we're really excited about it because it was a daring move, and I think it's turned out well.
Yeah, you guys are going to love it. I mean, we got some of your favorites are definitely back. The cast, some of your favorites we got for sure. And there's some new faces, new characters that you guys are going to love. And it's been a real treat, the caliber of talent that we've had on our show.
Absolutely. Because we have 20 episodes really has made a huge difference in terms of the arcs that we're allowed to do. So this story that Damian's referring to is a big part of season 3, and it's a huge arc for all of us. And the fact, though, that we also still go down to the intimate episodes, that, we find out more about Henry, we're going back to Will, we go back to Magnus's past. So there's an intimacy at this huge scale.
There is more, in getting your characters to grow and we want to know more about them, we are bringing in love interests and more relationships, and that's fun because when you have people in mission mode for 2 seasons, then you can have them in, date night mode. That's fun because it never goes smoothly.
We have such a one thing that the company backers just keeps growing, and certainly this year, the company grows, and just to be able to work with some of these actors and what they're bringing into the show is really exciting, and it's been great. And some of the new characters, just new villain.
It's been so great for season 2 because it's like this is the season you show up to work and you can't wait to get that next script and you're shooting that episode and you just want to go through it and you're so excited about it and you want to know what's going on with everybody else. Yeah, that's cool. Instead of sometimes you get a script and it's like,
Is there anything in those scripts that you dread? Is there anything where you're like, what's for you when you have to do the transformation scenes and things like that? Are there technical challenges that are less fun to shoot?
Well, early on I was trying to figure it out, and now that we've got that dialed, I think when I say we're going to see more of Henry, I think it's also, what does Henry really look like when he transforms?
Yeah,
it's
old Wayne's name.
It's pretty incredible, but it's that, for me, doing all that stuff with green dots all over my face and body, that's sort of like, okay, so I just have to commit to being a werewolf. Me. And it's, that first was a little bit like, how do you do that without laughing at yourself? But then you just kind of get into it, and it's pretty.
Every now and then you open the script and you just be like, oh, this is so great. Oh, the scene's really good. And then there'll be one little line like, Will is put into a bathtub of ice naked. What? Oh, come on.
Yeah, we have
just wanted to eat carbs this week.
You guys probably heard us say it before. There's not so much nudity because there's nudity. And
that's because I'm an executive producer.
Once in a while, and I'll see just nothing but egg whites on Robbins' plate, and I'm like, oh, I never scripted it, naked.
I think Amanda is the one who knows what it's like to open a script. usually with my name in the front, and go, oh my God. What?
You know, speaking of that, early on, and still to this day, because Henry has all this techno battle, you know, and so it's, we'll do the table readings. Oh, you're not kidding me. Are these words even real? And if I ever complain, like, one time I was like, this is crazy, how many says this is crazy? And man looks at me, she's like, Robert, 10 years. 10 years.
Let's open things up to the crowd. Anybody out there have any questions?
No softball questions.
Oh. This is for Robin Dunne.
Me first?
In the last season finale, we saw a great scene of you Bollywood dancing. And
I don't know if it was great.
my question is, what was your experience with it? Because I saw other people doing it and they were really bad. And yours was good, really good. So what was your experience learning it, and when you heard you're going to do that, what was your reaction to it?
The short answer is I have no idea how I got through it. I remember when the script came to me, I honestly thought, we do a lot of practical jokes on the stage, we do each other a lot, and we're always trying to one-up each other, and I was like, wow, Damian really has gone very far with this practical joke thing, because he's written an entire fake script. I was like, Ozzy, don't you have to be writing real scripts for the show? Isn't this kind of so? And Marty was like, no, this is real. We're doing this. And I'm like, come on, guys, you don't have to go this far. So I realized that actually this is something that we're going to be doing. Then I was very, very terrified, as you can well imagine. There was a wonderful dance instructor who came to the set to teach me how to first, not how to Bollywood dance, how to dance. I mean, she had to start at the lowest rung on the ladder, and she was terrified. She just thought, when she said, well, let's just try a couple things just to see where your level is. And I saw the terror in her face, and I knew we were really screwed.
Just have to remember, it's important to say that when we were shooting that, it was a heat wave. It was so hot.
Mark Wood stood up on the thing and said, he had his iPhone, he said, it's 40 degrees Celsius in Mumbai today. It's 42 degrees in Vancouver. So we brought the ball of the weather with us. And then there was this whole thing that transpired where it kind of news traveled very quickly through the whole set and the office, and everywhere I would walk, people would be like, oh man, I can't wait to send in. I can't wait to see you, man.
I had that day off, I was like, I'm coming, I'm checking this out.
And then it just kind of happened. I don't know. Honestly, I went to a trance. I remember Mark Wood saying, all right, we're done with the dancing. And I kind of snapped out of it. I don't really remember much of it. Yeah.
It was amazing. Every time you turned a corner, there was Robin practicing the Bollywood dances.
I never thought it was important.
People started filing out, like the accountants from the office, and they started around, why are you guys all down on the stage? What's going on? Go back and
I want to see you, man. What you're going to make of yourself. But then you kind of blew it all away.
Is that a compliment?
It was a compliment.
Come on, come here.
Okay, next up.
It's up, don't have over my head.
I inquired last year about bucking the trend of killing off your guest stars, and it hasn't really happened yet. So since they probably won't be sticking around for all that long, aside from Paul McGillian, who isn't dead yet, can we expect any more guest stars from the Stargate family?
You know, that's a... Did you know that Robin did a dance? We don't like killing people. It's just dramatic. And about the Stargate guest stars, to be honest, I mean, we all came from Stargate, and we really want sanctuary to stand on its own without having to sort of say, look, we're still using our stargateness. So when the role is right and the actor is right, then that's what we want to do. But we don't make the deliberate choice to say it's got to be someone who worked on Stargate. We love working with our Stargate family. You know, it's been, say, 10 years, we meet and work with amazing people.
Yeah.
But we try to protect our own ecosystem and make it an organic choice to that.
Although having said that, we have tried to get a couple of people on. There's been issues with timing and availability, so it's not like we haven't tried, and we're still trying.
I think our show, it's very much a family environment. I mean, that's the, we love each other dearly.
Dysfunctional.
Absolutely. And I think there's, you know, obviously the Stargate family is a very significant extended part of that family.
Yeah.
So, you know, with their, as Damian said, you know, we've had some great actors, and they're just great actors, and they're great collaborators, and such a treat to have on the show. And just in general, those are the people that, you know, seem to gravitate towards our show. And so I think that's
So stay tuned. Please.
This one's for Damian. I was wondering, like, when in Stargate and in Sanctuary both directed an episode or two, I was wondering if you're going to do that at all in season 3.
Yes. I was going to direct the first episode of the season, but I chickened out. I did. I felt like I really needed to focus on getting back into Helen. And I wanted to do her justice. It was a huge show, and Martin always does the first episode of the season. So I will be directing end of August. Episode 13. Just my lucky number, because there's 13 letters in my name, so.
My question is for Ryan. I'm studying to be an actress, and I was wondering if you had any acting advice for a dating actor like myself.
Are you sure?
Yes, I am.
Yeah, follow your heart with everything you have. Just make sure that, you know, this is it. This is the thing that you want more than anything. And you're going to go through a lot of crap and garbage and dysfunction, and you got to be a little crazy. You got to be a little cuckoo. You got to know that this is it. This is the thing that you want to do, and pursue it with every ounce of your being, and treat it like a full-time job. Get up in the morning and look at the trades. You know, figure out where you want to go, make a plan for yourself, and just keep going. So many people are going to tell you to stop, and screw them, they're miserable. So
Keep going.
Never give up. Never give up. This is what you want to do. Just keep going with it, and no matter what anyone tells you. I mean, if Sanctuary can be an example of that, Martin, Amanda, and Damian were told no every single corner. They had to climb a mountain and get pushed down, and get up and climb back up. And if those three people can be an example to you, it's like never let anyone tell you no, because, you know, we're here because of them, and we have this great show because of the hard work that these three people did.
Because we wouldn't take no for an answer.
Yeah. And it's worth saying in present company that Sci-Fi Channel said yes, enthusiastically, and that's the one we wait for. It's so worth it.
I have a huge affinity for this network because they've been incredibly great to me. And talk about being an actor, just trying to pay the bills, and the sci-fi has been incredible for me. So, you find a family and you honor that family, and you give everything you have. Like just when you don't leave anything, you know, don't leave anything behind. You give it everything you have.
And when you imagine, stop yourself and imagine greater.
Hi, my question's for Damian. I was just wondering, the Big Eye is a lot of love, but are we going to see an expansion of the Big Eye's role in any of the episodes in season 3?
Yeah, we love that character. I mean, he really finds this kind of groove in season 3, and season 2 is about, you know, him and Henry and that bond. And then we kind of expanded that bond to other people, and then he kind of finds this cool role, and then there's a very dark but kind of heartfelt story that the big guy is right in the center of. There's a mystery he needs to solve, which was an idea I always had, which is the idea of this kind of almost film noir mystery with a Bigfoot at the center. And it worked beautifully. I mean, it's just, we all have a big soft spot for a big hairy guy.
And really what Harold brings to that role, and really what he does with it, it's really beautiful. I mean, Damian says there's a depth that it brings to the quality of that character that is really
and there's that one episode in particular that Damian's referring to, and it's a real journey for him, and it is so poignant. And it's amazing to me that an actor can act through that much prosthetic and make it one of the most human characters on the show.
And I think it's important to know that when he's on set, I mean, he's a big guy. It's a big guy. It's a completely different person. And when you walk on set and the big guy comes on set, it's just, your day lightens. It's just like, yes, big guy's here. And it
really slaps you in the head.
A lot, yeah.
Well, it's weird. I tried to have a conversation with Chris, about riding motorcycles. But it's like, very early in the conversation, like, I can't talk to you about reality because the big guy. It's weird. Yeah, so I like to ride BMW and all 100 stations. It's like, this is late. Let's talk about the sanctuary. Chris is an amazingly talented actor. And, so, yeah, absolutely. He, depending on who he's playing, the temperature of the set changes. It's astounding. He's an absolute treat to work with. Josh, are you with us? That's right. Yes.
Josh is doing Sudoku over there.
I'm so close to this one.
Three. Panel. It's a three. It's a three.
Next question.
Ladies and gentlemen, this will be the last question.
This is an outrage!
And our last question is, could you talk a little bit about the web series? How you got produced and promoted to be such a success?
Oh.
Is this from the race people out there? It was like pushing a giant shipping container full of angry cats up a dirt road in the middle of winter. That old chestnut. It was an amazingly challenging thing, man.
It was. I think we were naive enough and innocent enough to follow our dreams, and thank God we did, but in retrospect, it was such an incredible journey. We had to find financing, and that was like insane. And we shot a test scene like a year before we shot the actual webisodes, and we worked on a lot of good faith, and it took a lot of blood, sweat, and tears, and had we known how difficult the road would have been, I'm not sure we would have gone down. I'd like to think we would have, but I'm not sure.
Differently.
We would have. So, naivete helps. Innocence.
But you guys went down, I mean, this show, there was no road. I mean, the road didn't exist yet. It was just figuring it out, and I mean, literally, the show paved the way for so many fantastic shows that are now coming.
It was like we did the Dunkirk failed invasion so that Overlord could happen 2 years later.
You can see how Sanctuary comes out of his head, right? The cat.
But we found private finances. We were very lucky. The BD group, who was a huge supporter of the show, financed our webisodes, and we were able to pull together a team and get it made. Without them, I don't know, we'd probably still be trying to find financing. And we'd still be squatting in the booth down on the floor like we did 4 years ago, 3 years ago.
I think, to be honest, the climate has changed. Online is like the ground constantly moving under your feet. And back when we started in 06, 07, there was this kind of smell of revolution in the air that the internet was going to take down TV, which in hindsight is ludicrous. I mean, they are working together now in a different way. But back then, it was like this, kind of Valkyrie vibe going on, where people thought we're going to do it. And that's what got people excited about it. But really what it did is I think we smartly targeted you guys. The people who are the real believers, the early adopters, the guys who can see it and get it early. And then once that beachhead was established, the rest became academic because the idea was accepted and loved. And that is the most important thing we achieved. And always proud of that, always. So we owe it to you guys.
Yeah. So many of you that we did it, right? We were talking about that, how our fans are, and no disrespect to the fans of our show, but our fans are probably the most kick-ass fans.
Kick-ass fans. They are.
You have so much invested in us in this show. You know, it's the
almost a personal ownership because of how it started, and we're really proud of that. Proud of all the people that stuck by it.
Yeah, so thank you guys. Really.
Unfortunately, we are just about out of time. Really quickly before we go, as I want to mention this, Amanda, you and Damian started charities here. Yeah?
Yes, we did.
It's called Sanctuary for Kids.
Yes.
And I think it is that you lock children up for your mansion. What's the charity?
Not an animated series.
Where
can people go to make a donation to get involved?
SanctuaryForKids.org. It's a very grassroots charity that we started in November. We're super proud of how well it's done. But it was germinated because of you guys. The idea, we worked on it for about a year before we launched it, came from the understanding that the sci-fi community is so beautifully socially connected and so unbelievably generous and so socially aware. And you actually care about causes, and you stand behind them, and then suddenly virally everyone knows about it. So we understood that launching Sanctuary for Kids, that we would be launching because of you. And it's been a phenomenal success. We worked with the Paul Orphans Home. We built a house called Papa's Roomba House, which is Nepalese for Sanctuary. And we reunited 7 sets of sisters. And when I got the email, I just wept. These little girls who didn't think they'd ever see their sisters again are now united for life. Yeah. It's amazing. We're building a school. We're a third of the way to building a campus for them. Phenomenally little amount of money is needed. It's remarkable what you can do with so little. We're helping homeless teens in Vancouver with their children get off the streets, and we're helping in Haiti. We've just been really, really lucky, but it's very small charities with low operating costs, low overhead. Damian and I are covering all the overhead for Sanctuary for Kids, and thanks to your incredible generosity, amazing things since November have been done. And the fact that 27 girls in Nepal got off the street and were given safe housing, and the sisters were reunited. It's amazing. So thank you to you. It's been a great success.
I just want to add one last thing. Because of what we were able to do and quickly get money to Haiti within a few weeks of the earthquake, I just want to throw this out to you guys because you are the core of this. Please encourage other shows and movies that you follow to do what we did with Sanctuary for Kids. Every show should be linked to a charity. We made that happen.